when you're working with the breath and you're connecting the breath in that way, and we start to go into a slightly altered hypnotic state, we're starting to access parts of our brain, not necessarily the prefrontal cortex, the egoic part of our mind, the part that's trying to, projections or making stories or intellectualizing, analyzing. When we're working with the breath and we're working with this connected pattern of breath, we start to go into more of a gamma state, and we start to go into more of this altered state, so that we start to sometimes we start to access and unlock memory. Sometimes it's what's been stored in our nervous system, triggers that are stored in our nervous system, what's stored in our tissues, in our fascia, and having experiencing some of these emotions and feelings that maybe we have been pushing down and suppressing for a very long time. So when we're working with the breath, and sometimes you might feel like you feel this extreme sensation of love and joy, but you also might feel during that session anger and sadness or tears, or you might take yourself back to a memory when you were a child, or there might be some very strong visuals. Everybody's having a very different experience in the, often when I'm working with groups, everyone is when you talk and when you share, it's so powerful, because some people might be having a very physical experience. Sometimes it's a very mental experience. Sometimes it's quite hard to get out of the mind. We spend so much time in our heads, so much time, our brain's job is there to protect us. So it's trying to, that is a very protective coping mechanism of just more wanting to know what might go wrong. And so it's very clever at kind of distracting us. Resistance, like sometimes we notice resistance as well. Hold that feeling, hold that emotion, hold that fear, hold that anger, hold that heaviness in the way that you would a child, and breathe into it, and until the energy of that starts to change. And when we work with the breath, and we work with it on a more therapeutic level, because that's what it is. It's a breath therapy, conscious connected breath. When we talk about trauma, and we talk about like the roots of like where it came from, rebirthing, holotropic breath, Stanislav Leonard Orr, who really the pioneers of breathwork. Obviously, as in conscious connected breathwork, breathwork's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and all of these techniques have been around for thousands of years. But at the time, they were working with trauma and working with higher states of consciousness, but through psychedelics, and understanding how we can access part of this we can unlock some of this memory that we have buried, because sometimes for a really good reason, again, because our body is trying to protect us. We live in a very anxious world, and anxiety is I've never seen anxiety with my clients in the way that I do now. I guess because I work on the front line every single day with clients, I get to really see it, because everyone's very good at sort of hiding it, stress and anxiety. That's the thing. It's like when you have these mental health issues and you have anxiety or panic attacks, depression, they hold you back from doing things that you actually really love doing.